Thanks, Eric. Thanks for having me back to the show here. I just wanted to do this for more fun. So it just turns out to be that SilverCrest is having a lot of success in the market. We were just announced last week one of the top performers in Canada on the TSX Venture. So I'm happy to to tell you that. Our discovery goes back to our discovery and our success goes back to the roots of SilverCrest, and when I formed and one of the founders in 2003. Boots on the ground, watch your money wisely, don't overextend the company, all of these things. Use a wise, phased business model. I've touted this a lot in the last years, and that's part of the success that we're rolling along now. This picture that you see here is of the Las Chispas property, which has been rolling out into the industry. It is a district-wide play, never been drilled before as far as we can tell, and we're putting the first holes into it. So here's our corporate structure. Again, we're pretty tightly held, just under 50 million shares out, 60 million fully diluted, got about $12 million in the bank. And our bank account, that's after doing half of phase 2 drilling that we're completing and working on currently. We got skin in the game, and you can see our stock chart there as Eric was pointing out. If you got in early, you're certainly very happy. So here's Las Chispas. I'll just point it out here. And we're conveniently kind of stuck between Santa Elena and Mercedes, which is now Premier Gold. This is a paved highway. You can drive from Las Chispas to Santa Elena in 45 minutes and about an hour over to Mercedes. So I think infrastructure and when you're looking at these projects worldwide is very important, and we're uniquely located in a great place to be doing business. Very colorful history around Las Chispas. If you're a historian, it started 1640, discovered by a Spanish general. There was 200 years of Apache uprisings that really stifled the mining industry and the Apache industry. You read the history books about all of the raids and basically wiping out northern Mexico of prospectors and ranchers until it came under control by the Imperial Army in Mexico in cooperation with the U.S. government and the U.S. military, coming in and protecting ranchers and miners, and that would be the late 1800s. So although there was some production that was completed in the Las Chispas district in the late 1700s and early 1800s, it was stifled again by Apache uprisings. So here's the trend itself, and it's all about high grade. So the grade is king, location is queen to me, and high grade works in a good market or a bad market, any way you look at it. The grades historically from these veins that you see on the map here are about a half-ounce gold and 1.7 kilos per ton silver over veins that are running 1 to 5 meters wide. So you can make a lot of money when you're chasing that stuff. What we're finding over the last year is a lot of it's still intact. We feel that the cutoff grade for historical production was somewhere around 1 kilo per ton silver. So you can certainly make money today under these conditions with the grades, with the location. Once we prove up a critical mass, we'll be moving the project forward. We have defined 19 epithermal veins on the property, of which we're currently working on the Las Chispas vein, the William Tell vein, the Varela vein, and the Bobby Canora vein. We just put out a news release on the Bobby Canora vein. I avoided saying discovery, but I'm quite excited about it. I was on the ground 10 days ago. I walked most of the workings of the Bobby Canora vein, looked at the core. Again, boots on the ground, executive management, and I'm jumping up and down when I start seeing stuff. Again, at Las Chispas, it's multi-kilo grams per ton. It's pretty exciting stuff and over impressive widths. So we've drilled 6 holes. They sit right here at the end of an adit. And I'll show you a photo coming up here, but 6 holes. My expectation was, okay, we're in an old mining area. I'm going to look for splays and stuff in the hanging wall and the footwall and may get some joy out of some other veins. And we actually hit the main vein there, and most of it's intact. And you get pretty excited. And what wasn't intact and mined out was a 1/2 meter, a meter, and they backfilled it. And those grades are running somewhere between 200 and 400 grams per ton. So the backfill's running. And we don't know how much of that's in there. And I took my directors down a couple weeks ago, and they just looked at that, and there's these 6 huge chutes coming down onto the floor. They're all backfilled, and they're all running mineralized grade. We mined about 800 tons of that, because we had to bring in drills and get it out of the way. We put it outside, and it's just sitting in a stockpile. You can walk over it, and you can pick up grades that are 2-ounce gold and multi-kilos just sitting on the dump right now. So it's pretty impressive stuff. Here's a shot of this is new, this just came out, a long section. So you're looking pretty much south here. And this is where we did the drilling. It's a postage stamp right now that you see here. This is the tunnel. This is some drifting. And those chutes I just talked about are all coming down along this 100 meters of drifting on each side. I've walked here. I just walked these workings and workings up here. All have veining exposed in them. All have grades up to 1 to 2 kilos per ton. The key right now for us, and I've worked in these epithermal systems a lot, is finding the high-grade chutes. So I'm coming to the conclusion that there's some trends that are going on. One may be here, another here, and another down here. You may have 3 stacked high-grade trends yet to be determined. Got to get some drilling in. This is the Las Chispas main vein long section. So this has been shown for about 9 months now. The base that you see there is a map that we got from the son of the general manager. He actually walked into our office one day and said, you might need this. You might want to use this. And it was a great find for us, and 95% of it is correct as we rehabilitate this mine and we're opening it up. This whole level here is over 1 kilometer long, and it's opened now, today. We just descended to the 700 level here, and if you come by the booth, I'll show you a multi-kilo sample with visible silver in it. That was picked up off the wall that sits right here, and it's faced up in this block that was never mined, and you can follow it around down the level of 700, and the whole roof has high-grade mineralization. Visually, we're in there sampling it right now. We'll see what it comes back. But expect to see more joy out of the underground rehabilitation program. Those news releases will just keep coming as we go down. There's a stope right here, historical documentations. You can look at it off Google right now, and it was 2,000 ounces per ton silver, over a 1/2 meter wide, that they were mining on this level. So I'm excited to get down there. Our priorities right now underground at Las Chispas are to build a ladder system down to the bottom level. Water table's supposed to be somewhere down here. We haven't hit that yet. And this shaft is open, great ventilation that's going on here, and we're going to put a ladder up that's 200 meters or 200 meters high, and we'll have access to all these levels up above that. Few snapshots. The important one is this one here. This is the entry to the Bobby Kenora adit. It's 4 by 4 meters, built in the 1860s by a French company. It took them about 15 years. There was 15 guys originally working on it, and then there was an Apache raid that came in. And they took all their supplies. And then there was a couple guys killed by Apaches. And then some guys said, you know, this is just really difficult to work here, so we're going to go to California. It ended up being one guy trying to work on the tunnel here to get to the zone. Couple shots. We call this the Stairway to Heaven. It's about 200 feet high, and it's a great exercise program. So why SilverCrest? You know, we got a great proven management team. Most of the management and the directors are the same team that had success at the SilverCrest Mines venture. Strong cash position. We got enough money to get into next year. Look for a lot more news on drill results. Next results to come out will be either more underground rehabilitation, high-grade stuff that we're seeing, or the phase 2 drilling from Las Chispas and William Tell veins. So look for some more high-grade numbers coming out. I've discussed some maiden resource numbers. As long as we're having success and rolling this story along, I'll continue to build the critical mass, and we'll put that out. Maybe by the end of the year, maybe we get a lot more joy out of Bobby Kenora, and we don't have to go. We can push that out. So we also have a bulk sample that we're thinking about doing. It's 100,000 tons. We're permitted to do that. You know, you already got these ore chutes. We got dumps on the surface, you know, 150 to 200,000 tons on the surface that never was taken away. That's high grade. You know, that can go too. So thank you very much, and look for another exciting year for SilverCrest.